So earlier this month, Intel announced the launch of their Gaudi 3 AI chip, tossing their hat in the ring in the race for generative AI. And as my first project with Secret Level, I had the incredible opportunity to create, with the help of AI, a virtual DJ for them for the IntelVision 2024 conference. So let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is Christie. I'm a digital artist and I create digital identities, digital garments, and virtual worlds. I started using AI within my artistic practice 3 years ago, and I was training my own image and video data for my final degree project at Central St. Martin's. And I was using these AI-generated videos as moving prints for my digital garments. So this is kind of a full circle moment for me. Today I want to show you the process behind creating this digital character and how I continue to use AI within my workflow as a digital artist using Unreal Engine. The Intel Bunnymen were first introduced in Intel's Super Bowl ad in '97, depicting their workers in clean room suits that manufactured their chips. And we wanted to reimagine this iconic character as a DJ with AI in this new era. Based off the AI visualizations, I broke it down to its garment components, and I would roughly draw out the shape of my garment pieces that I will simulate in cloth later. I headed on over to Unreal's Metahuman creator to find us our perfect DJ Bunnyman. Brian looks like he'll be a fantastic fit. I removed the existing clothing since we're creating our own from scratch, and then from Bridge I exported him out to Marvelous Designer to start building out his clean room suit. Opening up Marvelous Designer, I've simulated the pattern pieces for the suit, drawing out the seam lines where the sleeves would be. Gonna build out this hood as well, and I started 3D modeling these goggles as well in Blender based off the visualization. I always start with the default cube with its subdiv modifier and build out the general shapes and work out the further details from there. Here I'm trying to recreate these speaker attachments on the goggles and shaping the visor a bit in the front, adding some nice beveled edges. Here's a quick 360 of our DJ. I've modeled the pipes in the back and whipped up some gloves for him as well. Now onto the rigging. I use Maya because Quixel Bridge exports Metahuman smoothly into Maya. I copied the skin weights over from the base mesh and it's looking good. Brought the full look into Substance Painter for texturing, applying a fabric material to a main suit and going for a metallic glove and shoe with emissive detailing for that cyber touch. And now I brought the rigged garment model into Unreal and attached it to our blueprint Metahuman Brian, seeing if the Metahuman control rig still works with our garments over top and checking to see if everything is moving properly. So I've experimented with a handful of animation pipelines for Metahumans, but this by far takes the cake. Move AI is an AI-powered markerless motion capture tool, and I've been loving their multi-camera option. Let me get these set up and let's start capturing some DJ moves. I've set up 3 cameras at different angles for maximum coverage. And then hold up the Y. My good friend Marta, who goes by Barbie playing tennis, will be my animation guinea pig today. Prior to animation capture, we need to do a calibration take, so we're just doing that now. Onto the DJing. I asked Marta to give us varying levels of energy throughout a 60-second looping set, and I ran that footage through Move, and this is the resulting animation. I'm honestly shocked at how good the quality of the resulting animation is. I then exported the animation and brought it into Unreal. Let's have a look at the animation side by side with the footage. I applied the movement animation to our DJ Bunnyman, Brian, and he's putting on a Coachella-worthy performance up in here. For the environment, I was heavily inspired by the scenes in Tron, with the emissive leading lines and clean geometric shapes. I want to create a tunnel and have the light pulse and move through space dynamically. So here I'm just modeling the general shape of the atrium, carving out some leading lines in the architecture. I'm going to create a dynamic material in Unreal by attaching a pattern node to a gradient texture and set it to move along the x-axis. Multiply an emissive color and intensity, and we'll have ourselves some party lights. It's looking rave ready. Now I'm going to build out that DJ booth here in Blender. I wanted these stripes along the top so that the dynamic lights can circle around the booth nicely. We wanted something fun on the column, so I've unwrapped my geometry in a rectangular format, and Chris of Syntax Diffusion created this sick video loop that I'll use as a dynamic emissive texture. I imported this as an image sequence into Unreal and brought it in as a media texture in my material editor and hooked it up to the emission node. This is going to look really nice on the reflective surfaces in the space. I wanted to bring in an extra audio-reactive element in the mix, so we're going to make an audio-reactive Niagara particle system. Here I create a new fountain Niagara, and I'm just adjusting the sprite size all the way down. Set the shape to a torus, velocity from point, and the particles in orbit. I take out the gravity and up the drag. Next, I create a new scratch module in Niagara, and let's get the audio spectrum going. From here, we can call it the particle velocity parameter and create an additional movement power parameter. Multiply that together and get the particle velocity sync to audio amplitude, and we play music, and the particles would dance. The final step here is to create the camera and video sequences. I'm making a couple different camera rig rails and adjusting them to best angles. keyframed them in Unreal Sequencer, and this is a little preview. For this, I adjusted the focal length whilst the camera zooming back onto the DJ to create this warped sense of space that I really like. And back to the dancing particles. Here's the final video at the conference. Big thanks to Jason Zada, David Clarke, Monique of Secret Level, and check out the AI video created by Zahir, Chris Vespaziani, Boman, and Petrocci.